Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is talking about one of the more recent additions to my collection that I got my hands on. Finally got delivered in the mail. And this fragrance is from the brand of Choo. Choo is kind of one of those fragrance brands that to me is one of the more slept on, underrated fragrance brands, just due to the price, right? A lot of people can kind of snub their nose when they look at how affordable it is and kind of think maybe it's not the best quality fragrance, but I've actually had quite the opposite. It's one of my most complimented fragrance brands that I've had, and over the past few months I've actually gotten my hands on I think the whole Choo collection, or at least up until this point. So the fragrance we're going to be talking about today is this one here. This is Choo Man Blue. So Choo Man Blue, actually, ironic enough, this is not going to be a first impressions, but rather this is going to be a test to see whether you should still wear Choo Man Blue in 2025. Reason being is that I actually had Choo Man Blue a few years ago when I was really getting into collecting the first go around. But I didn't keep the fragrance on me long. I think I paid $30 for it on Fragrance X, or one of the discounters I used. And I actually ended up gifting it to one of the little bros. You know, I was getting him into fragrances, so I let him have this one as kind of his intro into fragrance. And he's built his own collection now as well. So it kind of goes full circle. But, you know, as I was building the Choo collection, it was one of those things I had seen it and like, oh, maybe I'll add it, maybe I'll get it again, but I've already kind of had it. I've had it, dropped it from the cart, in favor of other fragrances. But now, as time's kind of evolved, I have younger guys and a lot more younger guys kind of who I'm mentoring and who I'm kind of getting into fragrances. They're asking me all the time, what kind of fragrances should they get? And this is one that really comes to mind as far as a brand that is really good for those teenagers, those young adults who are really starting to get into fragrances, or for guys who, you know, maybe they're starting to really dip their toe into the waters of building a cologne collection. I felt like this could be a really appropriate fragrance to talk about. So nonetheless, we're going to do our smell reaction. We're going to see just has the scent quality maintained, has it fell off, is it reformulated, and how does this fare versus the other ones in line and versus other fragrances. So nonetheless, we're gonna get right into it, guys. So here we go. So when we talk about Man Blue and Choo, the whole line of fragrances, they're really kind of known for, they really have mixed reviews in the community, just based on where you are, really, honestly, on the person's level. I would say more of the fragrance snobs, the more niche snobs, really don't have the same affinity for Choo fragrances. But honestly, amongst women's reactions, they garner really great compliments. You know, they really kind of like the citrusy, and I would say that most Choo fragrances really have a high degree of complexity. They have quite a few fragrance notes. They're well blended. The only thing really from Choo fragrances that, for me, just thinking about it, is just their longevity, and even their sillage, right? It's not really it's not the further projecting, so they're moderate projecting, and they don't have the strongest lasting power. But you can afford to buy a few of the fragrances. You can afford to overspray it and really get good use out of your fragrances. But nonetheless, when we talk about Man Blue, obviously we're gonna probably be getting that blue fragrance DNA that we are known and accustomed to when we look at blue fragrances, right? That aromatic, sort of spicy, citrusy kind of fragrance accord nonetheless. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's go ahead and do it unboxing, and then we'll get to the full set breakdown, all right? There we go, quick, easy unboxing. So there we go, and then we take it out. Oh yeah, nice full bottle Choo Man Blue. Love that bottle design. You gotta get with it. All right, so with Choo Man Blue, some of the main notes we're gonna be getting here is actually quite a broad array of fragrance notes. We're gonna be getting that lavender, we're gonna get black pepper, we're gonna get some sage, we're gonna get bergamot, we're also gonna get vanilla, ambergris, we're gonna get amber wood, and we're gonna get spicy notes. Okay, so really nice, diverse array of fragrance notes. We're gonna get some citrusiness, we're gonna get some spicy, we're gonna get some vanilla qualities, we're gonna get the aromatic qualities, right? So really gonna have quite an interesting experience with this fragrance. Nonetheless, the first and foremost thing we're going to do is we're going to get our initial spray test out the air, and then we're going to get it off the mid with the test strip, and then we're going to get it off the skin test. All right, so has the fragrance stood the test of time? We're going to get right into it. Here we go. Atomizer test. Let's get 5. There we go. Okay, definitely picking up some lavender. Picking up some of that spiciness out in the opening. Really nice, strong projection off the air. So definitely, I like the opening. Really nice, broad array. And this is really, I have not smelled this in a while. A little sweeter. It's not so blue, it's more sweet to me. Definitely, you're picking up some of those vanilla qualities. Picking up that sage too, give it a little bit of a intensely smoky accord. Not so much, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more faint, but definitely picking up some of that amber. You're picking up some of that spicy. You're picking up some of the woods too. Overall, solid opening. Definitely not the strongest, not the most potent, but definitely a wide reaching. It's like a nice, calm, broad opening. Okay, it's not going to be overly pungent. It's not going to be overly in your face, but definitely a nice breeze. I imagine this is a really, I call it an airy opening, right? When you spray it, you'll be able to walk by and people will be able to get a whiff of you as you walk by. It's not going to be one of those where you're smelled when you walk into the room, but as you walk by, people are going to remember that, oh, who was that? It's going to give me that kind of appeal, but definitely nice, strong opening. Good, solid air. Good, solid sea eyes, all right? All right, here we go. We're going up test strip. Here we go. Let it air down. That opening still is really good. Definitely citrusy, lavender, black pepper, but a little bit warm too, a little sweeter, a little bit more cozy and intimate from what I last recall. All right, here we go. We're coming off the strip now. Yep, I remember why people like this. I remember why this one was a compliment puller. This is good. This is good. Nice. All right, you're definitely getting that sandalwood and you're getting that vanilla when you get to that mid. So as it opens up, you're getting that nice floral lavender. You're getting that warm, spicy black pepper. You're getting that citrusy bergamot as well in the opening. As it settles down, it gets really warm. Okay, so you're gonna be getting that sage. You're gonna get some vanilla. I'm smelling some lavender in this too. You're smelling a little bit of that masculine lavender. Give it that level of kind of maturity as well, so it's not overly playful, it's not overly sweet. It's not a night out fragrance to me. Definitely this is more your daily driver, more of a sweeter though daily driver. It's not overly fresh. It's not definitely fresh out the shower, but more someone who likes those fresh fragrances but wants a little bit of an aromatic sweetness to it as well. It's definitely not the strongest one. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more calm and subdued, this fragrance. So if you're someone who doesn't want to choke anybody out, you want something nice and calm as your daily driver fragrance, I think you would really get a kick out of this one too. Nice complexity, all right, nice character to it. It's really good. Really kind of sexy in my opinion, honestly. So far though, I'm enjoying it. I'm quite liking this. This was definitely another dub so far. All right, so we're 2 for 2. All we gotta do is test it off on the skin, and I think we'll have another dub. All right, here we go. 5. There we go. Let it air out some. All right, here we go. Okay, a nice woody, creamy, vanillic, aromatic base too. Okay, so if you like dry woods, you like sandalwood. You like, it's not tonka bean, but you like that creamy vanilla. You like your kind of, it smells almost like cashmere a little bit too. I'm getting some of that too as well, right? Give that a little aromatic creaminess, a little smoothness. It's got a mysterious vibe to it too. It's like you don't want to just be your average run-of-the-mill office-friendly fragrance, but you do want something where people are gonna have to create conversations with you whenever you wear a fragrance like this in the office. Definitely gonna be one of those, what is that you got on type of fragrance. It's gonna spark curiosity and interest, but that's definitely for those of us who are a little bit more introverted. I think this one with the amount of fragrance notes in it, definitely this one will help kind of break your shell as well. I think this is for budget fragrance. Definitely you can't beat it nonetheless, but so far that's 3 for 3. That's another dub, man. That's definitely another dub. I mean, that's really good. Now, when it's all said and done, what are we saying about this fragrance? Definitely, I would say that this one is more of your office-friendly fragrance. Definitely kind of your more casual, office-friendly fragrance, maybe your daily driver fragrance. But I do see this being worn out because of its aromatic creaminess. I do think you could wear this for a date. It's for someone who wants maybe a fresh fragrance, but you want a level of mysterious qualities to it. You know, you don't want it overly fresh and clean. You do want some of that sex appeal as well in your fragrance, but you don't want to break the bank. I think this one could do it. This one's a little bit more intimate, so it's not going to be the strongest projector. It's not going to be the strongest performer in my opinion, but it's for something where you're not going to be out for very long. I think that you would really get great use out of this one nonetheless. Now, when we talk about Jimmy Choo Man Blue, it is gonna fit into that blue fragrance DNA. If you like a fragrance like Versace Gentleman Blue, but you want it a little bit more calm and subdued versus Dylan Blue is a little bit more loud and bold, you want a more calmer version with this, I think you would like this one. I think this one's a little creamier than Dylan Blue. Dylan Blue is giving off a little bit more citrusy spiciness. This one's more creamy and woodier than Dylan Blue, but nonetheless, another dub, another great budget-friendly fragrance. Definitely one that I think most of you youngest should get your hands on. Most guys can get their hands on too, especially if you're a guy who doesn't want to break the bank with the fragrances. Definitely $30, $40 I think you'll pay for this. And for a big bottle, you won't be disappointed. You'll have a really great daily job fragrance on your hands.